How many famous faces can you name who chose to go under the knife, and how many of them later wished they never had? In Hollywood, the constant pressure to stay young and flawless can trap even the most confident stars inside their own reflections. What often starts as a simple touch-up can quietly spiral into years of procedures, regret, and a broken sense of self. Today, we revisit the stories of celebrities who pushed their pursuit of beauty too far, and how the search for perfection ultimately led to losing it. Before we continue, take a moment to tell us where you're watching from and what time it is where you are. Linda Evangelista. During the 1990s, Linda Evangelista was not simply another successful model. She defined the very meaning of a supermodel. Her striking face appeared on more than 700 magazine covers, symbolizing an era of elegance, authority, and timeless beauty. Yet behind the glamour, a quiet personal tragedy was unfolding, one that would permanently reshape her life. In 2015, Linda chose to undergo cool sculpting, a popular non-surgical fat-freezing treatment marketed as safe and requiring no recovery time. The procedure was widely promoted and reportedly used by many celebrities. For Linda, however, what began as a modest cosmetic decision quickly turned into a devastating experience. After 7 sessions, the treated areas did not shrink. Instead, her chin, thighs, and chest gradually hardened and expanded. Doctors later diagnosed her with paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, a rare side effect believed to affect fewer than 1% of patients. For Linda, that statistic did more than alter her appearance. It effectively ended her career. She underwent 2 liposuction surgeries in 2016 and 2017, but the damage could not be fully reversed. The physical pain was significant, but the emotional toll was even deeper. The woman once known for saying, "I don't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day," later revealed, "I've been brutally disfigured." Overwhelmed by shame and heartbreak, Linda withdrew from public life, avoiding cameras, runways, and even close friends. One of fashion's most photographed faces vanished from view. Years later, Linda returned with honesty and resolve, stepping back in front of the camera to tell her story. By speaking openly, she aimed to raise awareness about cosmetic risks and the importance of self-acceptance. Once seen as perfection personified, Linda Evangelista is now widely regarded as a symbol of resilience, truth, and survival. Do you believe non-surgical cosmetic treatments are often underestimated in terms of risk, or should celebrities be held more accountable for promoting them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Kenny Rogers. For more than 60 years, Kenny Rogers stood as a true American music icon. With his warm, gravelly voice and steady presence, he connected with millions through classics such as The Gambler and Islands in the Stream. To fans, he embodied sincerity, confidence, and a rugged sense of authenticity. During the 1990s, however, the pressure of fame and the passage of time began to weigh heavily on him. In an entertainment industry increasingly fixated on youth, Rogers became more aware of aging under unforgiving stage lights, high-definition cameras, and relentless media attention. Each appearance served as a reminder that time was moving forward. Hoping to preserve his familiar image, Kenny turned to cosmetic surgery. He underwent a facelift, followed by eyelid procedures intended to give him a refreshed and younger look. Instead of enhancing his appearance, the results left him noticeably altered and difficult to recognize. The expressive, weathered face that once reflected honesty and strength appeared unnaturally tight, with lifted brows and a constant look of surprise. Fans reacted with shock, and critics openly remarked that he no longer looked like himself. Privately, Rogers admitted that he struggled to connect with his own reflection. In later interviews, he expressed regret, saying he wished he had never gone through with the procedures. His goal, he explained, was simply to look slightly younger, but he felt he had lost part of his natural masculinity. While the physical wounds healed, the emotional impact lingered. Until his death in 2020 at the age of 81, Kenny Rogers continued to perform and record music, moving audiences with the voice that surgery never touched. In the end, his songs endured beyond cosmetic mistakes, serving as a reminder that time ultimately claims the final word. Lisa Rinna. Before becoming one of television's most recognizable personalities, Lisa Rinna held a simple desire: to feel more attractive and confident. At just 20 years old, influenced by Hollywood glamour and the film Beaches, she made a choice that would shape her public image for decades. In 1986, she underwent permanent silicone lip injections, believing they would give her a distinctive look. For many years, the results seemed successful. Her full lips became her signature, widely known as the Rinna smile on red carpets and television. Over time, however, the silicone hardened, creating painful lumps and uneven contours. What was once her most famous feature became a source of discomfort and anxiety. After nearly 25 years, Lisa sought a Beverly Hills surgeon in 2010 to remove the damaged tissue. The procedure eased the pain, but could not fully restore her natural appearance. Privately, she struggled with seeing a face that no longer felt like her own. Still, Rinna continued pursuing cosmetic procedures, including fillers and Botox. Gradually, her features appeared tighter and less expressive, and fans sensed something unnatural replacing her spontaneity. By 2024, after years of speculation and online criticism, Lisa acknowledged that some fillers had gone too far and were later dissolved. Her honesty highlighted the pressure of maintaining an image in Hollywood. Today, Lisa Rinna speaks more openly about acceptance, serving as a reminder of how easily enhancement can cross into excess. Do you think long-term cosmetic decisions made at a young age should be regulated more strictly, or should personal responsibility come first? Joan Van Ark. In the 1970s and 1980s, Joan Van Ark was one of television's most beloved actresses. Her role as Valene Ewing on Knots Landing made her a household name, admired for her luminous eyes, soft features, and gentle screen presence that defined an era of classic television beauty. As time passed, however, the very face that brought her fame became the focus of growing anxiety. In the early 1990s, Joan reportedly chose to undergo her first rhinoplasty. The change was subtle and barely noticeable, but it marked the beginning of a long cycle. Over the years, she pursued additional facelifts, eyelid surgeries, Botox injections, and chemical peels. Each new sign of aging seemed to trigger another attempt to correct it. Gradually, the results became more severe. Her skin appeared increasingly pale and tight, and her facial expressions grew limited and rigid. High-definition cameras that once captured her warmth now highlighted the effects of overcorrection, revealing stretched skin, hollowed eyes, and a smile that struggled to move naturally. By the early 2000s, her appearance became a frequent subject of tabloid speculation. Headlines openly asked what had happened to Joan Van Ark. Although she denied going too far, years of procedures had visibly altered the natural charm that once defined her image. In 2020, during the 40th anniversary celebration of Knots Landing, audiences were once again shocked by how dramatically her face had changed. The moment reflected decades spent resisting time rather than accepting it. Today, Joan Van Ark maintains a quieter public life, appearing occasionally at reunions and charitable events. Her story stands as a sobering reminder that aging cannot be erased, and that grace is sometimes found in letting time take its course. Cayetana Fitz-James, Stuart. For centuries, Spain's House of Alba symbolized power, wealth, and aristocratic influence. Yet no member drew more public fascination than Maria del Rosario Cayetana Fitz-James Stuart y Silva, the 18th Duchess of Alba. Known for her bold personality and immense fortune, she held over 40 noble titles, earning recognition as the most titled woman in the world. Despite her privilege, time remained beyond her control. In the 1980s, as her public image remained highly visible across Europe, Cayetana reportedly began confronting the first signs of aging. What started as a simple rhinoplasty soon expanded into a long pattern of cosmetic interventions, including facelifts, lip fillers, and frequent Botox treatments. Each procedure promised renewed youth, yet gradually pulled her further from the refined elegance she once embodied. Her facial features appeared increasingly stretched and uneven. Complicating matters, she was later diagnosed with Melkerson-Rosenthal syndrome, a rare neurological condition associated with facial swelling. It has been suggested that further cosmetic procedures were pursued in an attempt to counter these effects, though the results appeared to worsen her appearance. Over time, her skin lost elasticity and her expressions became fixed and rigid. Still, the Duchess remained defiant of social expectations. In 2011, at age 85, she drew global attention by marrying a man 24 years younger, reigniting intense public debate over her choices, her independence, and her appearance. When Cayetana Fitz-James Stuart passed away in 2014, she left behind palaces, vast estates, and a legacy shaped by both admiration and controversy. Her life remains a powerful reminder that wealth and status cannot restore youth, nor guarantee peace with one's own reflection. Do you see Cayetana's choices as an act of personal freedom, or as a reflection of the pressure placed on women to resist aging at any cost? LaToya Jackson. Born into one of the most recognizable families in the world, LaToya Jackson grew up under constant public attention, surrounded by talent, fame, and relentless comparison, especially to her younger brother, Michael Jackson. During the 1980s, she worked to establish her own identity as a singer, actress, and television personality. Her album My Special Love found moderate success, and for a time she was viewed as the more approachable figure within the Jackson family. As her visibility increased, so did her insecurities. Living in the shadow of a global icon, combined with the intense beauty standards of the entertainment industry, reportedly pushed LaToya toward cosmetic changes. By the late 1980s, she underwent her first rhinoplasty, a decision that quickly drew attention from both fans and the media. Throughout the 1990s, additional procedures followed, including further nose surgeries, facelifts, cheek enhancements, chin reshaping, and lip fillers. With each intervention, her appearance shifted further from her natural features. Her skin appeared tighter, her nose more refined, and her facial expressions increasingly restrained. Tabloids began referring to her as a broken porcelain doll, and comparisons to Michael Jackson resurfaced, framing both siblings as victims of extreme fame and expectation. Over time, LaToya's image became a symbol of Hollywood's obsession with physical perfection. Behind the headlines, however, was a woman struggling with self-identity and validation. Now in her late 60s, LaToya Jackson lives a more private life, appearing occasionally on television and supporting projects connected to her family's legacy. Her story remains a sobering reflection on how fame can distort self-image and quietly erode personal peace. Goldie Hawn. For more than 50 years, Goldie Hawn has represented joy, warmth, and light in American cinema. With her unmistakable laugh, bright blue eyes, and effortless charm, she became one of the most beloved stars of the 1970s and 1980s. Her appeal felt natural and spontaneous, as if she radiated happiness without trying. Yet even for someone so closely associated with positivity, time eventually asserted its presence. As the years passed, Goldie reportedly began feeling the pressure of an industry built around youth. In the early 2000s, she is believed to have turned to cosmetic enhancements, starting with minor procedures such as cheek fillers, Botox, and a light facelift. What may have begun as subtle maintenance gradually expanded as one treatment led to another. By 2014, public attention intensified. When Goldie appeared on the Academy Awards red carpet, viewers noticed a face that looked tight, puffy, and unusually frozen. Media outlets and experts speculated about excessive Botox use, facelifts, and eyelid procedures. Her skin appeared smooth, but many felt it came at the expense of the expressiveness that once defined her screen presence. The smile that had once felt carefree now appeared controlled and restrained. When she returned to acting in Snatched in 2017, some fans observed that her facial expressions seemed muted, as if a barrier stood between her emotions and the audience. What was once a symbol of effortless youth quietly became a cautionary image of trying to preserve it. Today, Goldie Hawn lives a calmer, fulfilled life with her longtime partner, Kurt Russell. She focuses on her family, including her daughter Kate Hudson, and her work with the Mind Up Foundation. Though her appearance has changed with time, her spirit, humor, and kindness continue to endure. Thanks for watching Hollywood Lost Secrets. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for more untold stories.